Thank you so much for sharing this wonderful evening with me. More importantly, thank you for your continued support of the Anita Borg Institute. I'd like to thank Dr. Stephanie White for nominating me for this prestigious award, and also I'd like to congratulate and thank my IEEE people, my colleagues at IEEE, for supporting me and my nerd girls. I also want to thank the most brilliant engineer I know, my husband, Jamie, who has traveled all around the world with me to help me encourage young women to pursue engineering, math, and science careers. You know, we expect our youth to start thinking about what they want to do for the rest of their life at the ripe old age of 15. If I think back to when I was 15, the only careers that I could possibly envision were the ones that I saw on TV, and those were mostly being a rock star or a model. Back then, my school system provided us with a career assessment exam to help us choose a career. My best friend, who happened to be a male, scored slightly lower than I did in math and science, but we fully expected that our career assessment reports would be identical. His highest scoring profession came out to be a university or college professor. My first career ranking came out to be a school teacher. I felt sorry for him. I actually felt sorry for him because let's face it, it was well known that if you were a professor, regardless of your gender, you'd have to wear a lab coat, grow facial hair, and sacrifice all oral hygiene. Plus, all teenagers know that professors are vile, heartless creatures known to eat their own young. Second on my friend's list was an engineer. Second on my list was to sell cosmetics. His last career choice was to be a politician. Mine said I could be a cook. Not even a chef, a cook. Now, I can tell you one thing about me that remains true from then to now, is that it would be cruel and unjust punishment for anyone to eat my cooking. I was so upset. I complained to my guidance counselor, there must be a mistake. The counselor assured me there was no mistake because this was a computer-generated assessment, and computers don't make mistakes. Thus, this was my first motivation to learn about computers. Thank goodness my father was smart enough not to care what any computer had to say. He said, honey, you need to be an engineer so that you can make enough money to support your expensive shopping habits. I had absolutely no idea what an engineer did, and I thought I had a better chance of becoming that rock star. I did get the opportunity to participate in some science projects at school. One project that I remember was designing an apparatus to protect an egg from a fall off a building. My best friend worked on his project for weeks and spent a fortune on materials. He had propellers and parachutes. I asked him if he had tested it, and he said, no way, it would cost too much to repair if it broke. I went home, and I took out a box out of the trash, cardboard box, and an old pair of my mom's pantyhose, and used an elastic band to suspend the egg inside the pantyhose inside the box. When I got to school, my classmates laughed at my design and aptly called it the dumpster design because I had the audacity to use recycled materials. I felt really ashamed. During the egg drop, my friend's expensive design fell to the ground like a brick. The propeller didn't work, and the parachute never opened, and it smashed upon impact into 1,000 pieces. But nevertheless, he reminded me his egg did survive. My egg had no trouble surviving, and my design was actually intact. Now, the moral of the story. A lot of you affiliate Dr. Anita Borg with her outstanding contributions to computing. What you don't know is that her pioneering efforts in building corporate cultures is the cornerstone for some of today's most progressive and successful companies, and it was through these efforts that changed my life. The corporate values she helped create were embodied in two slogans that we used at Digital Equipment Corporation, where Dr. Borg had worked and then I subsequently joined upon graduation. I always thought these slogans only pertained to design methodologies, but learned later on that they meant so much more. The first slogan was, do the right thing. Ladies and gentlemen, diversity in our educational institutions and in our workplace is the right thing to do. For years, people have asked me, Why should we care if women and underrepresented minorities aren't interested in math or science? Think back to my egg drop project. How many young men do you know would ever think of using pantyhose in their design? Furthermore, how many would even have the courage to ask their mother for a pair? The perspectives individuals bring to design creates innovation and reliability. The second slogan we used at Digital Equipment Corporation when designing was good, fast, cheap, pick two. Now, if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm a woman that wants it all. And it wasn't until I heard that slogan that I finally appreciated the sheer awesomeness of my egg drop design. My design came together quickly, the cost was cheap, and it was reusable. The good, fast, cheap slogan challenges us all to think of unique methods for solving problems that can bring us closer to having it all. With encouragement and valuing the differences that diversity brings, we can have it all. I watch generations of my nerd girls go out there and do things that I never dreamed of. And I truly know that I have redefined the name nerd girl into something positive and cool, something I was constantly told was impossible. Now, there are times in all of our lives when all you're going to hear is negative and criticism, or that you're crazy for a great idea. It makes us feel like a box of baking soda. You know what that is? It's the thing you put in your refrigerator that absorbs all those stinky, foul, smelly stuff. And absorbing all that negative energy does nothing but hold you back if you let it. I prefer to reflect energy like a solar cell and transform it into something positive that can change lives. And if I can do it, you can do it. Thank you to the Anita Borg Institute for this incredible honor in empowering me to do the right thing. Thank you.